Hello friends, this is Karthikeya Singh, working as an assistant professor in the School of Management Sciences, Varanasi. We are covering research design and we have already covered three parts of it, like research design, exploratory research design, the descriptive research design, and we are into this fourth part of experimental research design. And in this, we have covered most of the part and we are into the last part 2.4.5, that is experimental types of experimental research. In this, we have already covered let's we have already covered pre-experimental research designs, and in this one short case study, one group pre-test, post-test, and a static group we people have already covered. And in this lecture video we are going to cover this quasi-experimental research design in detail. And there are two types of quasi-experimental research design. This is time series and multiple time series. And what is the difference between pre-experimental and quasi-experimental research design? Quasi-experimental research design is bit structured than pre-experimental research design. But here also no random selection is going to take place. So pre-experimental research design and quasi-experimental research design are bit loosely structured, but comparatively more structured than pre-experimental research design. And these both pre-experimental and quasi-experimental research designs are less structured than true experimental and statistical research design. Let's move further. Erase it, this marker. Let's move. It says in this design, the researcher can control when measurements are taken on the or whom they are taken. Researcher usually try to consider different types of measures with control variable. Why control variable? Because so many extraneous variable usually impact your research result. So researcher usually tries to control your extraneous variable and give the exact result. Here also, we take so many observations before the exposure is being given, and so many observations after the exposure is given. Once I'll give you the example, you'll come to know about this. Just cover this point also. Like, however, this design lacks complete control of the scheduling of the treatment and also lacks ability to randomize test units exposure to treatment. Here also, no random selection of sample units takes place. That's why it is also going to give you the vague result. And finally, experimental control is lacking. The possibility of getting confounded means not clear. Quasi name suggests it is not properly defined, it is not clear, and that's why confounded means a vague result is expected from this experimental research design. Let's so this is time series, and let's take an example. In this, we take like observation 1, observation 2, then observation 3, and after taking these three observations, we are giving our exposure, that means cells training, that is treatment or exposure. In our example, it is basically a cells training. And after giving this cells training, we are again observing O4, then O5, then O6. Now, let's see this example. Why it is going to be called as time series? As you have learned that moving from left to right, it shows different time frames, moving time frames. Like if this observation is taken in the month of January, this particular observation is taken in the month of February, this observation is taken in the month of March, and after that, after taking these three observations, I have given this exposure, that is the cells training. And after that, in the month of April, May, and June, we have taken another three observations. So that's why several time intervals are involved and several time frame observations are being made. That's why it is going to be considered as time series method. But why we usually take so many observations? Because we try to negate the impact of extraneous variables. Several other factors which is also impacting your sales performance, we are trying to negate it, and in doing so, we are taking several observations before the exposure is given and several observations after this exposure has been given. So this is basically the concept of this quasi experimental research design. In quasi research design, we are going to cover time series and multiple time series, and we'll cover this in the next. Let's erase it first. Now, time series design. This involves a series of periodic measurements on the dependent variable for a group of test unit. The treatment X is then administered and series of periodic measurements are again taken to measure the effect of the treatment. I have already given you this example in my previous slide, like several observations like O1, O2, O3 before the exposure is given, and several observations after the exposure is given is O5, O6, O7, and O8. You won't be able to correlate things once you not consider a practical example, a real life example from it. So here also no random selection is also there. Let's, as it is a time series experiment and this is the first type, I'll take you through one example. Multiple observation drawbacks are like here also some other factors which is not going to impact maturation, main testing effect, instrumentation and everything. But this is not important here. Drawback that inability to researcher to control the effect of history. But first take this example. It will clarify all your doubts. Take this one. Here, this is your exposure. This is your exposure. Means we are considering a particular company is looking for an advertisement opportunity and we are considering it or we are giving nomenclature as X to that advertisement campaign. So if we give or measure sales performance on the basis of this exposure, that is advertisement, then after giving this advertisement exposure, how this sales performance is moving up or down, or you can say this here it is taken as market share and this exposure is given as advertisement. So how market share has improved due to this advertisement campaign, you are going to observe it. And several observation like observation 1, observation 2, observation 3, observation 4, likewise observation 5, 6, 7, 8 are taken, and accordingly we are going to check the market share and the variation in market share on the basis of this advertisement campaign. Let's take an example of like several companies are there or several options are there, like different products like F, E, A, B, C, D, E, F. The first, if you observe the performance of A, it is stagnant up to the exposure, and after exposure is being given, its market share started improving. So first four observation O1, O2, O4 are constant, and after that its performance is going up or market share is going up, and after that, after certain point of time, it is again become stagnant. In the second case, up to 4 it is stagnant or constant. Again, it shows some positive impact of the advertisement as X is given here at this point. So after giving this exposure, after that it has shown some positive result, and again it came down and became stagnant in the further parts. In C, this 5 observations are constant, and after 5 again some movement, upward movement is observed, so market share has increased and again it became constant. This is for D, it is very interesting. In D, no change is taking place due to advertising. The kind of trend which was observed for first 4 observations, the same kind of trend is going to be observed in the later part, that observation 5, 6, and 7, and 8. So interestingly, that means there is no impact of advertisement, no impact of this advertisement here, no impact of this advertisement given to different in the case of D. Moving further, in 20 there is a zigzag observation here. Up to this it has shown a constant market share, then again it went up, then again went down. At this point it was exposed to the advertisement, again it is showing the same kind of trend. which it was following before the exposure was given. So here also the same kind of trend is being followed by the product or company, and there is no significant change due to this exposure of advertisement. And the last one, no change at all. It has shown absolutely constant returns. So this is basically the example which we can take as for time series. Several time frames are there, several observations are there, and how things are changing after the exposure is being imposed. So in this experiment, if we want to know the impact of advertisement, we'll may check the market share exposure. If we see that in terms of this C, we are seeing a small change in market share or improvement in market share, but in other cases, in most of the cases, it is not that much significant. Most of the trend are showing like it is happening as it was happening before the exposure was given. So this will clear your basic concept of time series method. Now let's erase it, and here we'll cover this multiple time series. A multiple time series, what does it say? In multiple time series, we are considering two groups. In time series, we are only concerned about one group, but several observation was taken of the same group. But in this, two different groups are considered. One group is going to be considered as experimental group. Another one is going to be control group. In experimental group, exposure will be given, and in control group, no exposure will be given. So one more group called control group is added to the time series design, and that's why it is going to be called as multiple time series. Experimental research design means experimental research design where exposure is given. In this, exposure is given. So in experimental research design, several observations are taken before the exposure is being implicated, and after that, after exposure is given, again several observations are taken. But in control group, this is not going to happen. In control group, no exposure. Here, no exposure is there. So if you see in the first group, exposure is there, but here no exposure is there. That means the second one is the control group, and the first one is basically first group is experimental group where exposure is given. So here, if you want to know the impact of this exposure, it can be done by comparing the performance of both these groups. So if we compare or subtract different performance of these different two groups, we'll come to know the impact of this exposure X or advertisement. Major drawback of this design is the possibility of interactive effect in the experimental group. What does this mean, interactive effect? Because most of the participating units usually interact with each other, and due to that interaction their behavior change, and if their behavior will change, their responses will also change, and if responses will change, you are not going to establish the same kind of relationship before the interactive effect is going to take place. So this interactive effect is also going to impact your research result. We have already said this is multiple research design. So this is it. Thank you for watching.